Hi Neil, welcome to your free website review video. So basically I just run through a quick checklist of like the standard points, but then there is a bit of more of an advanced service that I can provide. But I'll just quickly run through the 10-point checklist. Some of them probably won't be applicable to you, but we'll just get through it quickly. So the first thing we check is the speed. So we run it through a tool, gtmetrics.com. We used to run it through a Google tool, but this one's much better. So straight away you can see it loads in 5.2 seconds, which is too slow. And the page size is huge, really. I'm surprised it loads that quickly with a page size of 17 meg, if I'm honest. There are, obviously, we can reduce this right down. If you look at the report for my own website, we've got, scores of A and B with a 2.5 second load speed. And obviously, with speed, every second counts. So, if you imagine if someone's on a mobile, that's probably going to be slower as well. And it's the first impression that counts. And basically, if someone's kind of comparing, someone's having a look at a few photographers and then they go on your website and then they go on, a couple of other people's and they load much quicker, they obviously, it sticks in their mind. And plus, a study's shown that for every second you can reduce off your website, you'll get 7% more traffic, 11% more page views, and 20% increase in customer satisfaction, because obviously, 1 in 5 people will just not even wait for the page to load after 5 seconds. So that's the first thing that probably needs addressing. Second thing on the list is the SSL certificate. You've sorted that, so that's perfect. Next one is security in terms of logging in and access to the site. I can see you've got the authorization code set up, which is better than most people. But you can actually change this login so that I can, if anyone's trying to find the login page, or if a robot is trying to find it to hack people's sites, which is what happens with WordPress, they can easily still find the login page and get in eventually, because your login page isn't hidden. So you can actually install a plugin that hides the login page. Next thing is the GDPR cookie pop-up box, which is missing on your website. So basically, you'll probably know what that is. I'll just go to one of our clients. Not that one, because they've actually not had theirs installed yet. But you can actually install this yourself on WordPress. If you just go into the back end and type in cookie pop-up. There's a free WordPress plugin. Trying to find it for you. It's not the CookieBot one, it's the cookie notice for GDPR. You can find it in the plugin directory in the back end of WordPress as well. But basically, this is the plugin. If you take a look at the URL, you can download that yourself. Next thing on the list is basically the most important thing for me, next to speed. Speed is number one, because it's an easy fix and it can obviously increase your rankings, increase your conversions, increase traffic to your site. It's, there's just so many things it can do. So basically, conversion optimization is, there's a few things on the list, and you can get really advanced with this. The first thing is having a pop-up box on the website like this. You should be trying to collect emails, at every opportunity. Some people don't like them because they think they're intrusive, as in, some businesses don't like them, but it's proven that, even if I was a customer and, I don't mind pop-up boxes, because usually you would want to give something away. So your industry is known for, giving discounts away at this stage. If you collect someone's email or get a free quote today, but there are other ways of collecting the email address by offering kind of a free guide. If it's to do with weddings, these have signed up to our newsletter. Can we send you special offers via email? And then obviously you do say we will not share your data with third parties, etc., etc. So again, that's a good way to collect email addresses. If you think about it, if you had that on your website for a year, by the end of the year, you could have 300 to 400 email addresses in there that you can then remarket to using a free plugin in the back end of WordPress called MailPoet. So there's just so much more you can be doing to kind of connect with your customers. Once you've got their email address, obviously we don't recommend, spamming them, but, sending out an offer once a month always works. We do it. We collect email addresses. We don't actually have a pop-up box on the website because I don't actually drive that much traffic to my website, if I'm honest. I get a lot of work from marketing agencies and things, but I did used to. And if I was looking to grow this business, that's exactly what I would do. Also, having a sign-up box on the website helps too. And also, in regards to your website, it probably does need a little bit of updating, if I'm honest. You shouldn't really have any white spaces missing on desktop or laptop. I can see you do have a GDPR policy, obviously, but it needs to, be a pop-up and an acceptance where they click OK. I'll just show you a quick design. I don't know if you're probably not looking to have a design at this stage, but so you can see, ignore the fact that this is a hotel kind of theme. But if you imagine the way this is laid out, the big slider, nice, more compact boxes. Here you'd have a call to action as in a form to collect, a quotation information, and then obviously you could have galleries here, different galleries, and some information. Just focus on obviously how things are laid out on the website, and that's just the first demo that came up in my list. I do have over 60, so I can show you even more. As you can see, this has got a subscribe to newsletter box, and it's just a lot cleaner and easier to read, and a lot more visually, appealing with a bit of colour and whatnot. And a photographer website, you don't want too much colour on there because you do want the focus to be around your work, which is fine. But there does need to be a little bit more element of kind of structuring the information better. The next thing on the list is social proof. Everybody loves social media now. I can see that you have put a little box on here, which is good. Again, something that not a lot of photographers do for some reason or other. I'm not sure why, because Instagram obviously should be, Instagram and Pinterest should be your two networks. And Facebook. Facebook is the best for me. There's just more people on it and more people active on Facebook every evening and every weekend than any other social media network. And what I mean by social proof is obviously reviews as well. So there should be some reviews on the homepage, really. Ideally, you want the reviews as close to the top as possible, so you can have your images. It would actually be nice to have kind of a slider where, so say this image came in, and then you had an actual review from this guy, and you could put it in a nice, box in the image with the review in the image. Not on every image, obviously. Or you could even have one slider here with just pure image like this, and then a box next to said image with the testimonial. And when that image changed, the testimonial would change on this side too. But for that, you would probably need to have a set size for the slider, which might not work because some of your images are obviously portraits, some are landscape, but there's ways to figure it out around everything. So next thing is calls to action. So there needs to be more calls to action on the website. There's just not enough places to put in the contact information to get a quote. On a mobile, you have to find a contact page. You should have a contact form on your homepage, ideally. Better thank you pages so that when someone does inquire, if they've not, obviously at that point you do collect their email, but if you do have a free guide to give away, but on the thank you page you could have, thanks for inquiring, please also like our Facebook page to keep up to date with our special offers and information, etc., etc. Whereas a lot of people will just put, you know, thank you for inquiring. And then there's the really advanced stuff when you have, you know, your website tested, when you've got all these other little niggly bits sorted. There's sites such as Lead Forensics. This is more for B2B though, and you can have this installed on your website, and basically anybody who clicks on your website and then obviously disappears. This is the cookie pop-up box, by the way, that I was telling you about. When someone lands on your website and it's a business, it will then obviously send you an email with all that person's details, even when they've not inquired. It's a lot more advanced than that, but obviously for the purpose of this video, it's 10 minutes long already. I don't want to kind of go on, but you can check that out for yourself. Lead Forensics. Again, you know, conversion optimization, nice pop-up box. So as you can see, all the big companies are using this. It's, you know, it's a no-brainer because it's free, for instance, to set up yourself. Obviously, we can help with that as well. Next thing is the Hotjar, which is basically this records in the background what your users are doing on your current website. So it gives you like scribble maps. It shows you where they're looking, and this tool I wouldn't obviously recommend at this stage because I think the website needs to be updated first. But what it would do is it'll show you the information that people are looking at the most. So obviously, if, for instance, people are interested in this section more, it will provide a heat map for you to show you the most interesting things on the homepage. And then obviously the more interesting subjects need to be moved up, you know, on the first fold. This is what's called the first fold. And it's all well and good having a big slider here, but it will do the same job if this slider was made to a quarter of its size, and then we've got all this real estate here to put in testimonials, Instagram feed, you know, Facebook feed, and in one little space here, rather than just showing the images, we'd be showing the images, showing testimonials, we'd be putting a box where they can like the Facebook page, a box where they can follow Instagram, and you've just got so much more marketing equity in the first fold of the website. You know, that's what I do if I was a photographer. I'm not saying it's right or wrong, I'm just going off what I know works with, you know, other kind of websites and all the marketing studies that have been done. For instance, that's why I changed my website. I used to have a massive slider on mine, but now in my first fold, as you can see, I've got a little introduction. To be fair, I need to put a video in here, maybe showcasing some of my work. I've been thinking about it for a while, but as you know, getting around to stuff like that is kind of on the bottom of the to-do list. And then I've got the number one thing people want to know is how much is certain types of website and hosting an email. And then I've got my testimonials. So in one fold, I've got an introduction, I've got prices for every offering that I've got, and testimonials. So they don't have to, ideally, they don't even have to scroll anywhere from here. It's simple, it's quick. If they want to scroll, then they come down to my portfolio. Then obviously there's much more advanced. Then frequently asked questions. Then my blog, and then obviously the social media. So hopefully you can see, you know, what I'm explaining there, and I've actually done it on my own website. The last thing is obviously a video on your website. You know, video on websites, they convert 40 to 50% much better. A blog, obviously I can see you've got a blog, which is great, and it's, you know, it's kept up to date quite often, so well done for that. And it's actually laid out okay as well, you know, that's fine. Not sure how fast it loads. It seems to load quite quickly. And the contact page again could do with having a form on there, so it's easier for the client. That's it really. That's the simple free website review. There is a more advanced version, but obviously that is a paid-for version. And to be fair, I wouldn't even say you need it at this stage. That's for people who go on to, you know, have their website fully optimized. So if you've got any questions, obviously feel free to fire them over. And if you need to speak to me, you can obviously, you know, give us a like on my Facebook page. Keep up to date with all my latest news and work, and videos. I am going to be publishing a lot more kind of free tutorial videos, so it is a good idea to, like, you know, give the page a like. And hopefully I'll speak to you soon, mate. Cheers.